Player's Handbook. Alright guys, so today we're going to have a 50-point game, Cryx versus Cygnar. No scenario, we're just going to try to kill each other. Because really, what brings friends closer than trying to kill each other? Alright, so once again, 50 points, assassination. Today we got Cryx and Cygnar, and I'm going to go over what I got for the Cryx army. Starting over here, we got a Stalker. We got a middle unit of Bane Knights, Bane Lord Tartarus, Lich Lord Venethrax, Gorman Dewolf, Malice. The Wither Shadow Combine, chilling back here. Main unit of Bane Thralls, Bane Thrall unit attachment. Advanced deployed here we got the Death Jack. And over here we got my Hombres, my 2 pistol brace. And for the Cygnar, why'd you point it at me? That was weird. We got Phil.
Well, I went ahead and I brought Striker today. Regular old normal Striker, not epic. Sitting next to Reinhold, a Squire. We got Arland. We got a Cyclone, a Lancer, and an Ironclad. Got the Black 13th, some Stormblades, Journeyman, and Charger. And then up front we got a big old block of Trenchers dug in.
With a unit attachment.
Yep, with the Sniper.
Alright guys, so we're going to come at you with round 1 as a culmination, and then stuff. Alright guys, back with round 1 Cryx and round 1 Cygnar. So Cryx went first. So basically everything ran. Gave a focus to the Stalker, focus to Malice. Death Jack received his 2. Venethrax went and cast Soul Slave on the Bane Knights, and Dragon Slayer on himself. He advanced up 6, followed by Gorman, who dropped a Smoke Cloud. And then Bane Knights ran, Tartarus ran, Stalker ran, Malice ran, Death Jack ran, Bane Thralls ran, Pistol Race ran, and Cygnar did some other stuff.
Did a few things. Started off, Journeyman gave 1 to the Charger, kept 2 for herself, and Striker kept all of his 6. Journeyman slid up about 1.5 inches, cast Arcane Shield on the Stormblades. The Charger moved up with 1 focus, tried to shoot. The Stalker forgot it was stealth, so it auto-missed because I'm outside of 5 inches. Stormblades then ran forward. The Lancer then activated and walked over here. The Ironclad moseyed up, and the Cyclone put dual covering fires down in front of the Trenchers. Arlen stayed where he was. Reinhold didn't do anything this turn. The Squire didn't move. Then activated Striker, cast Blood on the Black 13th, cast Earthquake through the Arc Node, boosting the hit roll, knocking the Death Jack down. And then my unit of Trenchers here did 2 combined ranged attacks against the Death Jack, both hitting and doing a grand total of 5 damage.
Way to piss off the Death Jack.
2. So I did 2 damage to box number 2 and 3 damage to box number 3. So it was a little underwhelming for what I actually thought I would do with them. But that's Cygnar turn 2. Or
Turn 1.
Turn 1. I'm jumping ahead of myself,
so,
you know.
Cryx ran. Cygnar pissed off a Death Jack. Be back.
Alright guys, here's the board at the end of Cryx turn 2.
So, what do we learn?
The Death Jack, when you damage it, it gets ticked off, charges forward and kills, bathes in the blood of whatever killed it, heals all of its damage, and goes to town.
Yes, Death Jack, win money guys. Alright, so, started the Cryx turn by receiving 7 focus. Venethrax upkept Soul Harvester, Edmonia upkept Dragon Slayer for free. We allocated 2 focus to the Death Jack. He spent 1 of the 4 he had at that point to shake his knockdown. So we activated the Death Jack first. He charged into the Trenchers, taking 2 PAL 12s from the covering fire. No damage. Charge attack killed a guy. He got a soul. Spent it to heal. Got all of his health back from the little dinks the Trenchers did. And then he proceeded to kill 2 more Trenchers, getting 2 more souls. And that's when I noticed my play mistake, that I had ran him out of my control area and couldn't use Necromancy to try to get rid of Black 13. But that's okay. So then, we had the Stalker activate and walk up to the edge of the woods. Bane Knights activated, and they ran and just spread out a little bit. Malice activated, walked up, shot the Trencher Sniper. I needed a
11.
I needed an 11 to hit, and I rolled an 11 and killed him. So that was cool. Tartarus moved over behind Malice. Wither Shadow Combine moved up. Malivus here shot the Trencher Officer with Soulfire. Darkfire. Needed a 10 to hit, rolled a 10 and rolled a 9 on the damage, so killed him and got a soul. Then we had the Bane Thralls activate. They ran up, The 2 pistol race ran. BatRep walked 6, sat on 4. Gorman walked up and dropped a smoke cloud. And that, in a nutshell, is Cryx turn 2.
Oh, this guy doing stuff. Alright. Cygnar turn 2, what happened, Phil?
A whole lot of nothing. I started by upkeeping my Journeyman upkept Arcane Shield on the Stormblades. Striker's upkeep of Blur on the Black 13th. He also leached 1 from the Squire, so he has a full 6 focus this turn. I then proceeded to forget to allocate any focus across the board, so none of my jacks have anything.
Yep, gotta get in your opponent's head, guys.
Yep, it actually plays a part in this game, and you'll see why. I then started my activations with my trenchers, who were not within a half inch of the Death Jack, so they moved back. This guy here tried to shoot a pistol race. I forgot it was incorporeal. It's just not my day, apparently. Then these 3 guys did a combined ranged attack against Death Jack, did no damage to it. Arlen Strangeways then activated and gave the Ironclad a single focus with his power booster ability. Black 13th, that were up in this area, slid back and using brutal damage, shot at the Death Jack. I rolled boxcars to hit twice with them, and then rolled below average for damage. So it was underwhelming for me, especially when I see boxcars come up on the to-hit roll. I then proceeded to walk the Ironclad into combat, knocked off an arm of the Death Jack, so I guess that's a good thing, as well as with Cortex. Lancer walked in, missed both times. Cyclone walked in, hit once, missed the other time, did a little bit of damage.
He did more than he's letting on. I mean, you can see that. So that's kind of impressive.
Yeah, for no focus, right?
Yeah.
Reinhold, fearing the pistol race, slid around Striker to here. The Squire stayed put. Stormblades ran into this area. The Charger moved back 6. The Journeyman ran. Then Striker activated, and he's not really an offensive caster, in my opinion. So he sat on all of his focus and popped his feet, which gives +5 armor to everything within his control area.
Which is currently everything.
Which is everything in this army currently. So we'll see what Cryx can do to, deal with that extra armor right now. So Striker's sitting at armor 26, 27, something like that right now. Should be interesting.
Alright, we'll be back in a second with the next.
Alright guys, so we're back with Cryx turn 3, and because I know what Striker's feat does, and that I'm not really going to be able to hurt anything on this feat turn, I decided to play it kind of safe. So we got our 7, upkept Soul Harvester, Ammonia upkept Dragon Slayer for free. I gave 2 to Malice. Started by having Malice walk up, try to shoot the Lancer, who was defense 17 for being engaged. He hit, but because of the armor buff, did no damage. So my hope to drag him out of the army didn't work. Had the Wither Shadow combine, just advance over here. Had the Bane Thralls just run and spread out a little bit, and the Pistol Race run over here. Had the Stalker advance 7 because of Pathfinder, followed by the Bane Knights, which spread out a little bit. Tartarus just moved around behind Malice to get a line of sight for next turn. BatRep walked up 6, followed by Gorman, who dropped a smoke cloud. And then the Death Jack, who's kind of hurting, decided he was going to punch the Ironclad in the face. So he made his attack with his fist that still worked and did 3 points of damage. He hit with his fist that didn't work on 1d6, but didn't do any damage. And he tied the armor with his head attack. And that was Cryx turn 3, quick and simple.
Boom, Cygnar turn 3. What happened?
Alright, first things first, I let all of my upkeep spells expire. And then I leached my second focus from the Squire, so Striker had a total of 7 for this turn. The Journeyman gave all 3 of her focus to the Charger, and Striker gave 3 of his focus to the Ironclad. The Ironclad was the first thing to activate, and finished off the Death Jack, but it needed all 3 of its focus to do it.
Ooh, Ironclad sucks.
Then I activated my Charger, who walked up to be within 3 inches of line of sight. It's about 2.5 between the Stalker and the Charger, and to get within stealth range. He hit the first time, dealing 12 damage, leaving it with about 5 boxes, and then missed the second time. Journeyman just slid over here. The Stormblades backed away because they were kind of clogging my lanes, and just sat still. The Lancer that was here moved over to here. Black 13th moved up around the Lancer into the woods, missing all 4 shots at the Stalker. Needed 8s and 10s. Thought I would have hit it once and been able to kill it. It happens. Cyclone moved back actually, dropped dual covering fire here to try to prevent a charge, hopefully at least from the Bane Thralls next turn. Trenchers then moved over around it. 3 of them could see, and they made a combined ranged attack against this Bane Thrall, who made his tough roll. Arlen stayed put. Reinhold and the Squire stayed put. Striker cast Arcane Shield on the Storm Blade. So that's the end of my turn 3. Feeling a bit of a comeback coming on, so let's see what happens on Cryx's turn.
Let's see.
Alright, here's the end of Cryx turn 4. Richard, what went on?
Alright, got my 7 focus on Vinny. I put 2 on Malice. Upkept Dragon Slayer, and had Ammonia upkeep Soul Harvester for free. So, first thing happened, Venithrax. No, not Venithrax. Tartarus just moved up, got within line of sight of Black 13, cursed him. Then Vinny activated, sat where he was, popped his feet. Gorman just kind of shuffled around a little bit, dropped the smoke cloud. Bane Knights charged in, killed 2 members of Black 13th, and did some pretty significant damage to the Charger. The Stalker walked around and didn't do jack diddly screw. So that put me 2 clouds here in play. So then we had Malice walk over, in between all the Bane Thralls that were here, shoot the Ironclad, hit it, do a little bit of damage, drag him out to here, and then the Bane Thralls just played Dogpile and killed it. So then we had the Wither Shadow come up here and shoot off some Soul Taker spells or Dark Fire, and we killed a Stormblade here. So there's supposed to be another 3-inch right here somewhere. And
we're just out of little circles.
Yeah, we're out of little circles because Vinny's feet requires lots of little circles. So anyway, Malvo's missed, Tremulous was out of range, Ammonia's hit, and killed a Stormblade. So then we had the pistol race, both walk up. First guy shot, missed with the first shot, killed a Trencher with the second, giving him a soul. And the second one moved up and killed 2 more, giving him 2 souls. I'm out of soul tokens, so I gotta use corpse tokens now. And Venithrax has 2 souls from Soul Harvester. And that's basically turning a frown upside down. And we'll be back with Cygnar turn 4.
We're back with Cygnar turn 4, we think. It may be 5, we're not sure anymore. Alright, so what'd you do, Phil?
Alright, well, I started up by upkeeping my Arcane Shield here, and then giving 3 of my focus to this Lancer. The Charger doesn't have a Cortex, so it couldn't get any focus from the Journeyman, so the Journeyman kept all 3 of her focus. The first thing I did was I activated Lynch, who slid around and killed a Bane Knight, giving them their Vengeance move next turn. I then activated the Lancer, who came in and killed 4 of the Bane Knights. Charger activated, swung with his 1 hammer. I actually have both arms, I just don't have anything else in the middle. Killed the other Bane Knight, leaving them only 1 in the unit, which isn't half bad. Would have been nice to pick them all off, but I didn't. Journeyman then charges into the Stalker here, leaving it with 1 damage box left, then missing with a bought attack with the other focus. I needed 12 to hit, so I mean, that's not bad. I activated the Stormblades, 1 charged in, killing the Stalker. The rest, because of this annoying little cloud effect here, had to run around it in order to maintain coherency, move, and not take a point of fire damage, which would have killed them. Arland, Strangeways ran from over here to here, once again avoiding the cloud. Striker, Reinhold, and the Squire all kind of just slid over it during their activations, getting away from this whole mess of Cryx stuff here. The Trenchers activated, walked back, and dug back in. The Cyclone activated, walked back 5, and put covering fires here again. They're marked with the blue knockdowns. It'll be a lot simpler at the end of the Cryx turn when all these cloud effects go away. There are also a bunch of cloud effects right around here where the dead Bane Knights were. But once again, we're out of brass circles.
Yeah, definitely need to get on buying some more of those. Alright guys, so we'll be back in a minute with Cryx turn 5, or maybe